An anime begins with Yuichi, a second-year high school student who was born in poverty, and to afford his basic needs he works hard at multiple part-time jobs. But for the past few days he has been working even harder so he can go on the school trip with his best friends. And after submitting the fees just in time, all of Yuichi's friends are very happy, and we are introduced to Shibe, the son of a wealthy businessman, Shiho, the class vice president, Tenji, the top student, and Kurogi, the kind girl who gets along with everyone. And despite being born poor, Yuichi considers himself a very lucky boy because he is surrounded by such wonderful friends, and he wishes this friendship lasts forever, not knowing that everything is about to change. During the 6th class, the homeroom teacher announces that the 2 million yen collected for the school trip has been stolen, and Shibe and Shiho were in charge of collecting and keeping it safe. But during 5th period, someone stole the money from Shiho's locker while she was gone, and she begs that whoever took it should please return it, but no one does. From the next day onward, both Shiho and Shibe stop coming to school, and everyone begins suspecting them because they cannot be contacted, and even Yuichi and the others cannot defend them. Later, we see Yuichi inside his apartment doing a part-time task when suddenly the doorbell rings and he receives a letter, and when he looks at it, he learns that the letter is from Sawaragi, and inside she has written that she wants to talk to him about something important, so she wants him to meet her near the school at 11 p.m. At night, when Yuichi reaches the spot at 11, he is shocked to see all his friends standing there, and he wonders what is happening and why everyone is here. But his friends immediately blame him and say they came because of him, that he is the one who called them, and on top of that, he himself arrived late. And then they ask why he left a letter outside each of their homes, and when Yuichi hears that letters were sent in his name, he is stunned and begins reading all of them, confused and shocked because he never sent any letters to anyone. Suddenly, Sawaragi's voice is heard telling Yuichi to look behind him, and the moment he turns, someone hits him with an electric shock from behind, making him faint. And in that faint state, Yuichi sees his friends being taken away by someone, and as he loses consciousness, he remembers an old memory where a big man tells him that the most important thing in this world is money. And then another memory appears of his mother telling him that something more important than money is his friends. Yuichi finally wakes up and sees he is lying in a white room, and all his friends are also there. Sawaragi asks him if he is okay, and suddenly, a toy-like creature appears in the middle of the room, and Kokorogi explains that this is actually an animator. It looks cute, but its actions are extremely dangerous, and its name is given to us as Manabu. And Manabu looks at everyone, and Manabu says, "Welcome. You don't need to do anything difficult. You only have to play a simple game. If you win every game, you will receive the 2 million yen, and along with that, in every game you'll also be given a bonus chance to clear your 20 million yen debt." Hearing the words 20 million yen debt, everyone stands frozen in shock, wondering how such a huge debt suddenly fell onto them. Yuichi grabs Manabu and angrily asks what is going on, and Manabu calmly says that someone among Yuichi's friends is carrying a 20 million yen debt. Just then, Shibe steps forward and stops Yuichi from losing control, and then Tenji asks Manabu what he truly means, and slowly Tenji realizes that one person among them has 20 million yen debt, and if they all complete the game together, everyone will become free. Tenji says what Manabu has done is kidnapping, and he will be charged with a kidnapping crime. But Manabu laughs and says, "No, someone among you applied to play this game and even paid the 2 million yen entry fee." Yuichi immediately thinks that maybe the 2 million yen stolen from school were used to pay for this game, and this means that one of his friends is a traitor who caused all this. Tenji then asks Manabu what will happen if they all refuse to play, and Manabu replies casually, "Nothing special. You may go home, but I will keep the 2 million yen payment, and the 20 million yen debt will be divided among all of you, which means each person will suddenly get a 4 million yen debt, and they will be forced to repay it. So if they choose to play, they can bring that 4 million yen debt down, and if someone fails, their debt will only increase." But even in this, there is a hidden twist which will be revealed later. Everyone now starts discussing what to do, wondering who the traitor is and who the 20 million yen debtor could be. Sawaragi then says, "We are all friends, and if one of us has a 20 million yen debt, then that person must be suffering a lot. Instead of suspecting who it is, we should help them." Everyone agrees with her, but Yuichi does not like this answer at all, and he starts feeling suspicious. At that moment, Manabu manipulates Yuichi, asking, "Are you doubting your friends? What is more important to you, your friends or money?" Yuichi replies that his friends matter the most to him. This means they are now ready to play this Tomodachi game. After that, Manabu sends everyone into another room where the first game will be played. The room looks like a classroom, and on one table, 5 tags are placed with all their names written on them. Manabu tells everyone to pick up their tag and check what number is written on it. When they check, each tag shows minus 4 million yen, their individual debt, and as they win games, their debt will slowly decrease. But if anyone shows their debt number to someone else, a penalty will be placed and their debt will double, though they may speak about their debt verbally but cannot show it. Then the first game begins, named the Yes-No Judgment Game. They are told that a coin is kept on a small board with yes and no sides. If everyone silently thinks yes, the coin will go to yes. But if even one person thinks no, the coin will go to no. Similarly, if everyone thinks no and one person thinks yes, it will go to yes, meaning the answer will follow the single person who gives the different answer. There will be 5 total questions, and if even one question ends up correct for the group, the game will be counted as a win, and their debt will drop from 40 lakh yen to 36 lakh yen. But if they break the rules, their debt may double. Also, if all 5 questions go wrong, then at the end of the game, the person with the highest remaining debt will suffer a penalty. Before the game starts, Manabu gives one piece of advice: never doubt your friends. The game begins. Shibe goes first and reads the question from the letter. His expression changes and he asks the group, is Mount Fuji the biggest mountain in Japan? Everyone gets happy because this is an easy question, and they believe everyone will answer correctly. They all put their fingers on the coin, and Manabu asks Kokorogi to announce the answer. Their fingers move, and shockingly the coin lands on no, even though the answer should clearly be yes, meaning someone purposely answered differently. Sawaragi tries to speak, but Yuichi and Tenji quickly cover her mouth because talking results in penalty. The second question is read by Sawaragi. Is 1 + 1 equal to 2? Again, everyone smiles, but shockingly the answer again becomes no, meaning once again, someone deliberately thought differently. Yuichi now understands someone is truly betraying them. We see a short flashback where Shibe has an injury on his face given by Sawaragi because Shibe had proposed to her and she hit him. Shibe had gone to Tenji and Yuichi for advice, but Tenji said he doesn't like getting involved in others' drama. So Shibe went to Yuichi, and Yuichi then went to Sawaragi, and Sawaragi told Yuichi she would forgive Shibe only if Yuichi told her a secret no one else knew. Yuichi did share a secret with her. Then we return to the present. The third question is read by Tenji. The answer should be yes again, but once more the answer becomes no. Yuichi begins to lose patience because if this continues, they will lose the entire game. Now it is Yuichi's turn. When Yuichi reads his card, he is shocked because there is no question written. Instead, it says the reader must choose the question themselves, meaning everyone until now had been choosing questions from their mind. Then Yuichi looks at the bottom of the card and reads something important. If the coin goes to yes, everyone wins the game, but if the coin goes to no, then the reader, Yuichi, will have his debt cut in half. Now Yuichi understands why the answer kept becoming no again and again, because the game is designed to force friends to betray one another. He realizes the ones who read earlier questions, Sawaragi, Shibe, and Tenji, all intentionally created situations where answering no would benefit someone, meaning all 3 had given wrong answers on purpose so their own debts would be reduced. Manabu continues and says that the winner's debt may get reduced, but all these possibilities are only running inside Yuichi's mind. And then we see 2 girls watching everything from a monitor, controlling the game from the outside, and one of them laughs at Yuichi's face and says he has finally started doubting his friends. And in this moment, Yuichi cannot decide whether he should choose yes or no, because everyone else's debts have already been cut in half. And here I want to add something. The condition written on Yuichi's card does not have to be the same for everyone, meaning everyone else may have completely different conditions. And maybe the 5th letter might have a real question written with no special advantage, like your debt will be cut in half. And then we see in this control room the second girl saying, no one has ever won this game before. Next, we see a flashback. Yuichi is remembering where Kokorogi tells him that she sees him as a very true and honest friend. And then we return to the present where Yuichi reads his chosen question aloud and asks, are there 7 days in a week? And instead of being selfish, he chooses yes so that Kokorogi can be saved and the game can end. But even then, the coin moves to no, meaning someone gave a different answer again. And Yuichi's mind begins to break because he now understands someone wants Kokorogi to take all the debt. Next is Kokorogi's turn, and she asks, will we still remain good friends after this? And everyone puts their fingers on the coin, but suddenly Yuichi starts talking, which is against the rules, and he asks a completely shocking question. What color panties is Sawaragi wearing? And everyone freezes, and Yuichi keeps provoking everyone, so someone breaks the rule and speaks because Yuichi believes everyone's debt has already been halved, while because he broke a rule earlier, his debt has already doubled. Yuichi says his question card had a rule written that whoever ends the game with the lowest debt will get the highest debt as a penalty, and he tells everyone this lie to shake them. And in the control room, one girl says Yuichi is lying, but the other girl says Yuichi must have another plan. Yuichi lied so that the real betrayer would be forced to choose yes. Then we return to the game room and the game continues. Everyone places their fingers on the coin, and this time the coin moves to yes, meaning everyone has won this game. In the control room, the girls say that Yuichi does not seem like some ordinary kid. After the game ends, Yuichi asks everyone how much debt they have now, and Tenji says everyone has the same amount, 3.6 million yen, because that is the rule. If they win, 400,000 yen is subtracted from everyone's total. Tenji asks if they must show their tags now, but Yuichi stops him saying no, because if they show them, their debt will double. Sawaragi and Shibe ask Yuichi if his debt must have doubled, but Yuichi Yuichi says no. His debt is 3.6 million yen because his debt doubled earlier but then got halved again due to his card's condition. Yuichi says they must now prepare for the next game and trust one another. Manabu takes everyone to another room for the second game, but Yuichi says he will come a little late because his shoelace is loose. All his friends leave, but Yuichi sits there thinking how all debts can be equal if someone is truly betraying them. He picks up the letters from the table to read them to figure out who the betrayer is, but the ink used on the letters automatically erases after some time. So Yuichi cannot read anything, and this frustrates him even more. Just then Sawaragi arrives and asks Yuichi why he looks upset, and Yuichi says nothing, but asks why she has come. Sawaragi says she feels someone among them is a traitor, and Yuichi agrees, and she asks him if he can tell her who it is, and Yuichi takes her name. Yuichi says he suspected her because in the beginning she told everyone not to doubt their friends, and that if someone is betraying them, they should help that person because they must be suffering. And hearing this, Sawaragi becomes shocked and tells Yuichi she only said that because she thought Yuichi was the traitor. And Yuichi gets angry saying, "So you suspected me because I'm poor and have no parents?" And she says that's not true. But Yuichi gets upset and demands what she meant then. Sawaragi then says something completely unexpected. She tells Yuichi that she likes him, and Yuichi becomes stunned and blushes. She asks if he still suspects her, and Yuichi says he doesn't think she is the thief. Sawaragi then reveals another truth. She says her debt is not 3.6 million yen, but 7.6 million yen, because when she tried to speak earlier, her voice was captured, and she received a penalty which doubled her debt. She also says that during the fifth question, Yuichi tried to save Kokorogi, but accidentally saved Sawaragi because the highest debt was on her. Sawaragi tells Yuichi she would never betray him and they will land Tomodachi Game together, and Yuichi says he trusts her too. In the control room, the girls discuss how clever Yuichi is, especially when it comes to money. We see that Tenji Mikasa has overheard everything. The next game will be played on the rooftop, and Manabu arrives wearing a suit this time and says that hiding secrets is not a good thing. So this time, everyone will reveal their secrets to each other without lying because God is watching from above. The game is called Badmouth Sugoroku. We see the rules written in the sky. Everyone must go one by one into a private room where a notepad will be given, and they must write bad things about their friends and then place the slip into a box. When all 5 slips are placed, Manabu will bring the box out and read every slip aloud in front of everyone while the gods, the controllers, will watch and decide how many steps each person can take. To win the game, at least one member must reach the goal, and if that happens, everyone's 4 lakh yen debt will be forgiven, and the people still on the board will receive an extra 1 million yen and won't need to play the third game. But whoever reaches the goal will free everyone else but will personally get more debt later, which will be revealed afterward. Manabu says they can write anything they want, like Sheeb wears bugs or Kokorogi wears D-cup bras. But if any written thing is proven false, the one who wrote it must stand at the very front. And if someone leaves a blank paper while others write, the ones who wrote will get benefits, and the blank paper players may lose a lot, so everyone should write as many bad things as they can about their friends, and Manabu says to finish the game as fast as possible. And hearing this, Sawaragi gets angry and tells him not to force them to do useless things because this is hurting their friends very badly. And Manabu replies that she can leave her card blank if she wants, and if all cards remain blank, then the gods will not survey anything, and everyone will only move one step forward. Shibe then says if that's the case, they can all reach the goal together. So Yuichi and his friends decide they will all reach the goal as a group, and everyone will submit blank slips. The game starts, and in the first round, all slips are blank, so everyone moves one step forward. But we see that as soon as they move one step, each of them gets an extra 1 lakh yen debt, and Yuichi calculates that if they keep moving one step at a time like this, in the end, every person will end up with 6 million yen of debt. In the second round, all slips are blank again, but this time their debt increases not by 1 lakh, but by 5 lakhs, and everyone's face becomes strange while Manabu smiles widely, saying they've only taken 2 steps and already gained 6 lakhs of debt. And then he tells them something shocking. Whoever reaches the goal first will receive all the debt of the group, meaning pushing forward together is foolish. Sawaragi screams at him, saying he is just fooling them. Then the third round happens. 4 slips are blank, but 1 slip is not, meaning someone has betrayed them. And the slip says Sawaragi likes Yuichi, and another line says Sawaragi and Tenji are ex-boyfriend and ex-girlfriend. And after the gods survey it, they declare the statements true and order Sawaragi to move 5 steps while the others move only 1 step, and none of them lose any points. Now, a heated argument breaks out because Shibe likes Sawaragi, and Sawaragi likes Yuichi, and Shibe begins yelling at Yuichi, and Tenji tries to calm Shibe, but Shibe shouts at him that he knows nothing, and Tenji says he knows everything because he is Sawaragi's ex-boyfriend. Sawaragi screams at Tenji, telling him to stop talking nonsense because it's a misunderstanding. She explains that she and Tenji were childhood friends. Her father is a police officer, and Tenji's father was a prosecutor, and the two fathers were friends in college and wanted their children to marry each other, so Sawaragi and Tenji pretended to date. She says Tenji's father died 2 years ago, and after that, Tenji changed schools, but by chance they both ended up in the same school again last year. Hearing this, Shibei calms down and says it wasn't real dating but just a fake drama. Manabu then interrupts saying maybe some romantic things happened between them, and Tenji says he liked Sawaragi before and still likes her now, and he yells at Shibei to stop talking rubbish about her because it always makes him angry. Tenji thinks Shibei wrote the slip, but Shibei says he didn't write anything and only just discovered the truth. Shibei and Tenji begin suspecting each other and start arguing, and Shibei almost hits Tenji when Yuichi steps between them and stops the fight, telling them that if they like her, they shouldn't upset her. On the other side, Kokorogi is telling Sawaragi that she likes Yuichi, and she thinks Yuichi likes her too. Then the fourth round begins. First, Yuichi goes to write, then comes out, and Sawaragi leaves her slip blank. Then the slips are revealed. The first slip says Shibei slept with his mother until junior high. The second says Yuichi once didn't shower for an entire week, and the third says Sawaragi has had plastic surgery. Then everyone takes their steps. Shibei asks Sawaragi if the plastic surgery thing is a lie, and Sawaragi asks if he would stop liking her if it were true. The fifth round begins, and this time only one slip is written, but it is a shocking one. It says when Kokorogi was in junior high, she used to sell her body for money. Kokorogi becomes completely devastated and starts crying loudly, and she accuses Sawaragi, saying only she knew about her past, so she must have written it. But Sawaragi repeatedly says she didn't write it, yet Kokorogi refuses to believe her. Shibei then thinks for a moment and says Kokorogi doesn't look like a virgin and her character doesn't match her past. And hearing this, Sawaragi gets angry, and Tenji slaps Shibei, telling him never to speak like that about a girl. Tenji then tells Yuichi to take care of Kokorogi while he and Sawaragi step aside. Yuichi comforts Kokorogi while Shibei stands separately. Kokorogi tells Yuichi that the bullying she is facing here is nothing compared to what she suffered in high school. We then see Kokorogi's past. In junior high, she was bullied constantly by many kids and suffered terribly, but she didn't want to trouble her mother by telling her. Even though she was suffering, neither her friends nor her teachers helped her, so she finally found a way to stop the bullying. She would give money to the ones who bullied her, and whenever she did that, they behaved nicely with her and even laughed and played with her. Because of this, she began to believe that only money could save her, but she was still in junior high and had very little money, so she started looking for ways to earn more. One day, she met a man who said he wanted to talk to her, and slowly he began hanging out with her. They went to parties and restaurants and became very close. The man bought her different clothes and took her photos, and at first Kokorogi felt it was normal, but one day the man said he wanted to touch her. Until now, he only took her out, had dinner, and gave her money, like she was a rental girlfriend. But the moment he said he wanted to touch her, Kokorogi became shocked. Yuichi asks her if she did anything, and Kokorogi quickly says no, she escaped from there. Then Manabu arrives mocking her, saying he can't believe something like this happened, making Kokorogi even more distressed. She repeats that everything she said is true and begs Yuichi to believe her. At this moment, if Yuichi doesn't trust her, Kokorogi will break completely. In the control room, we see Maria and Tsukino. Maria asks if virginity really matters that much, and Tsukino says every person tries to pretend they're pure even if they've done dirty things. Then we see Yuichi telling Kokorogi he doesn't care what happened in junior high, and it doesn't matter to him at all, and he trusts her completely. And then Yuichi leans close and whispers a secret in her ear, which we will learn later. Maria asks Tsukino what Yuichi said, but Tsukino says she has no idea. She says Yuichi is no innocent boy either, and surely has some dark history of his own. Kokorogi becomes ready to continue the game but asks Yuichi to stay by her side, and she still blames Sawaragi, who keeps defending herself, but Kokorogi says she no longer trusts her. Then Tenji asks Sawaragi what exactly happened with Kokorogi, and Sawaragi says she only knows a little. She explains that when high school started, she once saw some boys bullying Kokorogi, and she helped her, and one of the boys said Kokorogi was the kind of girl who would do anything for money. So Sawaragi later asked Kokorogi privately why that boy would say something like that, and Kokorogi told Sawaragi the truth, and at this point only Sawaragi knew this secret. Then Sawaragi firmly says that she can never betray her friends, and we see Tenji saying, yes, I trust you completely. I know you very well because we have been friends since childhood. Tenji again says that he truly trusts her. Hearing this, Sawaragi feels very happy and relaxed. We then see Shibei sitting to the side and listening to their conversation, feeling a little upset. Now in the control room, Maria and Tsukino are wondering who among them is the one betraying everyone, so they start guessing who it could be. Tsukino says that Shibei is already rich, so he would value love and friendship more, while Maria says it could be that Sawaragi is fooling everyone and she is the traitor because she knows everything about everyone, and it could also be Yuichi. But then we are shown a scene where a man's face is hidden, and he says that finally friendship is about to break. Then we are shown a flashback of that same day when Sawaragi was taking the collected amount of 2 million yen near the teacher's room, but then a girl comes and tells her that the teacher has called her and that it is very important to go. So Sawaragi puts the money in her locker for a while and locks it properly. Then, after some time, we see someone moving towards Sawaragi's locker. But that person bumps into Kokorogi, and the man who bumps into her gets a pen mark on his face because Kokorogi is holding a pen. Kokorogi apologizes to him. Then we hear that same strange voice saying that it's fine, mistakes happen. After that, Kokorogi asks the unknown person if he needed something from her, to which the unknown person replies, "No, I have already done my work." And we see that the unknown person has the same 2 million yen that were stolen, meaning he is the one who stole it. Kokorogi notices that blood is coming from the unknown person's face, and he says it's nothing, this happens all the time. Then we return to the present where the game has not moved forward yet, and again we hear the unknown person's voice saying that Sawaragi had to undergo plastic surgery because she got a scar in junior high, and only I could know such a personal detail about her. And then finally we see that person whose voice we were hearing, the one who stole the 2 million yen and pushed everyone into this game, and that person is none other than Mikasa Tenji. Tenji is the one who wants all of their friendships to break. Tenji had given Sawaragi a gift, which was a ring with a device inside it that records all conversations all the time, and Tenji keeps listening to everything. That is why Tenji knows Kokorogi's past and also knows where Sawaragi keeps her locker key. Then we see Tenji and Sawaragi talking about who could have written those things about Kokorogi, and Tenji manipulates Sawaragi by saying that he completely trusts her and she should not worry, while inside his mind he says that it was me who wrote it. I know it wasn't you, not just about Kokorogi. I wrote dirty things about everyone. Tenji says that instead of doubting each other, we should trust one another, but his real plan is to break Sawaragi's bond, so he keeps implying that Kokorogi is the one behind it. Hearing this, Sawaragi does not fully believe Tenji, but Tenji tries harder to manipulate her by saying that maybe Kokorogi wants sympathy because she has a crush on Yuichi, but you like Yuichi and maybe Yuichi likes you too. And Kokorogi also knows that you are prettier than her. Even after this, Sawaragi still thinks that Kokorogi could not have written such things about herself, so Tenji says to manipulate her that Yuichi is a very kind and straightforward boy, and if any girl asks him for help, he would obviously help her even if he likes another girl. After hearing this, Sawaragi asks Tenji why he is saying such things to her, and Tenji gets troubled and says, "It's nothing, I'm just worried about you," to which Sawaragi says, "Fine, I'll think about it." Then the game resumes, and Yuichi tells Tenji to go first, and Tenji leaves without saying anything because he does not want anyone to suspect him. As soon as he enters the room, he thinks about what he should write and realizes that no one has said much about him, and since he is always at the back, no one doubts him, so he himself writes bad things about himself. Then, as soon as Tenji comes out of the box, Yuichi slaps Sawaragi and asks how she can say that Kokorogi herself wrote all those things, and in response, Sawaragi says that you don't know how far a girl can go to get something, and she looks at Kokorogi and says, "Right, Kokorogi," to which Kokorogi replies, "Yes, you are absolutely right, just like some people get plastic surgery to look beautiful." Seeing them fight, Tenji feels very happy, because his plan is moving forward quickly. Sawaragi says that she did not get plastic surgery to look beautiful, but to hide a scar on her face. Then she tells Kokorogi that if you don't trust me, it's fine, it doesn't matter to me. Kokorogi also says the same, that it doesn't matter to her as long as Yuichi is with her, she doesn't care about anyone else. Then Kokorogi looks at Yuichi and asks if he trusts her, and Yuichi says yes. Tenji feels happy inside and thinks that finally a crack has formed between them, and soon Sawaragi will start hating Yuichi. Then Tenji thinks that he should not have shared that thing. It only made Sawaragi angry, and now he does not even need to talk much to Yuichi and Kokorogi. Then Tenji firmly says that just like Yuichi trusts Kokorogi, I trust you. Hearing this, Sawaragi touches his hand and says thank you, and Tenji thinks inside that Sawaragi has finally fallen into his trap. In the control room, Maria asks Tsukino what is going on, and Tsukino says that girls are sensitive creatures. No matter how much they love someone, they can break that love in an instant, especially when another man understands them better than the first one. Then we see that it is Kokorogi's turn to go inside, then Yuichi's, then Sawaragi's, and last is Shiibe's. Manabu announces that this time 2 slips have come out in the entire game. One is Tenji's, which we already know, but whose is the second slip? The first slip says that Sawaragi wears boys' boxers. Hearing this, Sawaragi looks at Kokorogi. Tenji tells Sawaragi that maybe Kokorogi is taking revenge on her. Then the second slip says that Tenji lies about his age, to which Tenji does not react much, but Yuichi asks if it is true, and Tenji admits that yes, it is true. I am 1 year older than all of you. I took a 1-year dropout, and I think Sawaragi already knew this. Hearing this, Sawaragi says that yes, I trust you. Then Tenji takes Sawaragi aside and tells her that have you noticed everyone is distancing themselves from you? But don't worry, I won't leave you. I will stand with you. Then it is time to take steps. And as soon as Sawaragi takes steps, she is given a chance to select any one member. And then the Tomodachi Game staff will investigate that person and expose their secrets. And if you choose the right person, you might even catch the traitor. Hearing this, Tenji panics badly and thinks, what if I am the one who gets exposed? Then Manabu Manabu advises Sawaragi that you should choose the person you trust the most. Hearing this, Tenji's fear increases even more as all his tricks start turning against him, and we see that Sawaragi is about to select Tenji, but then Shibe steps in and says, "Select me, everything inside me is pure for you." And at the same time, Shibe is confident that he has never done anything wrong in his life, so he has nothing to fear. And so Sawaragi chooses Shibe. Manabu asks him to think carefully if he is hiding anything, and Shibe says no, there is nothing to hide. Then in the next scene, many screens appear and Shibe's expressions change. We see that nothing is revealed about Shibe himself, but many dark truths about Shibe's father are exposed. Manabu says that according to their investigation, Shibe's father is a big fraud who does inappropriate things with his female colleagues and uses money to hide all of it. In the control room, Maria says that this is about Shibe's father. Nothing is said about Shibe himself. And Tsukino replies that, think about it. If your child is friends with a child whose father is a criminal, obviously you would keep your child away. And most people do the same. In the next game scene, Shibe feels extreme stress. Sawaragi apologizes to him and says that whatever happened was done by your father, you have no role in it. Hearing this, Shibe reaches his hand towards Sawaragi, but Tenji steps in and asks whether only your father is like that, or maybe you also did something bad in the past and your father covered it up with money. Sawaragi tells Tenji to stop saying such things, but Tenji continues to accuse Shibe and says he still does not understand how they ended up with a debt of 20 million yen. Now everyone leaves Shibe alone. On one side are Yuichi and Kokorogi, and on the other side are Tenji and Sawaragi. With Shibe left alone in the middle, Tenji thinks inside that Shibe saved my life, but I feel bad for you. Sorry. Then in the next round, only one slip comes out. Manabu looks at Shibe and says, "Hey Shibe, if what is written here is true, then this is very bad." The slip says that Shibe killed a man. Hearing this, even Tenji's mind goes blank, wondering if this is true and who wrote it. But when Tenji looks at Yuichi, he sees a strange expression on his face and realizes that Yuichi is the one who wrote it. Shibe asks Manabu that whoever wrote this about me will get a penalty, right? Because if someone writes a lie about another person, Manabu says, if you are saying this is a lie, then prove it. And Shibe says, how can I prove something I never did? Shibe also requests the God vote, saying he is innocent, but the result turns completely against him as 99% say they cannot trust Shibe, and Shibe gets 5 steps, and now he is leading at the front. In the control room, Tsukino says that the gods will not trust Shibe, no matter what he says. "I know you cannot do something like this." Hearing this, Shibe becomes emotional. Yuichi says that this round has confirmed who the traitor among us is, and I have a clear idea. Hearing this, Tenji gets nervous and starts thinking whether Yuichi has figured him out. Yuichi says that all the slips so far have been written by the same person, so we should not fight among ourselves. And Tenji thinks inside that Yuichi is really something else. By doing this, he wanted to make everyone stand together. Their debt increased by 3 million yen, and if you look at it carefully, even if we win this game, we only get 2 million yen. So if our debt increases by 3 million yen at the start, then this game is clearly unfair. Round when they got a chance to reduce their debt, and in that round, Kokorogi's debt was reduced by 200,000 yen. Yuichi says that the bad-mouthing Sugoroku is designed to be interesting for the viewers. At every step, your debt will either increase or, meaning in the end, everything will become neutral. In other words, this game is only for entertainment, and our original debt will remain the same. Maria says, wow, that actually makes sense. Yuichi says that if they keep playing like this, then Shibe will reach the goal first, and all the penalties will fall on him. So to save Shibe, Yuichi comes up with another idea. He tells everyone that from now on, all of them will badmouth themselves. All of them will reach the end together at the same time, but they can try. Yuichi's idea is that Shibe's slip will stay blank, but Tenji refuses to follow this strategy. Yuichi asks Tenji what happened and why he does not like this plan. Yuichi says that for that, they would have to go to the 3rd round, and doing that in this game would not be right. Tenji says, stop fooling us. We are very close to finishing this game, and trusting anyone right now is completely wrong. So let's do this. If your plan does not work in the next round, then you will have to reveal the traitor's name, and whoever you accuse, you must have proof. And if you do not have proof, then I will never trust your words again. Hearing this, Yuichi agrees. Then the next round begins, where everyone goes one by one to put more than one slip. Manabu mocks Yuichi and calls him an idiot. Tenji also tells Yuichi that his plan was completely useless, and now he should tell them who the traitor is. Yuichi feels defeated and admits that he actually does not know who the traitor is. Says that trusting Yuichi is pointless now. Sawaragi refuses Tenji and stays beside Yuichi. Tenji says that because of such behavior, she keeps getting hurt again and again with Tenji, and Tenji feels extremely happy inside, thinking that his plan is finally succeeding. Then while playing the game, 18 rounds pass, and during these rounds, no one talks to each other and it feels like they no longer trust one another. Then comes the 19th round, where we see that Sawaragi is now just one step away from the goal. Tenji looks at her and pretends dramatically, saying that if she had stopped being stubborn, he could have saved her. Maria says that their team turned out to be just like the others, meaning this game is not only being played by them, but by many people. Catch the traitor. Hearing this, Tenji refuses again. Yuichi says, what's the problem? Even if the traitor is caught, we still won't be able to save Sawaragi. Hearing this, Shiibe also becomes quiet and says that if they cannot save Sawaragi, then what is the point of catching the traitor? Yuichi says he has a plan where only the traitor will remain, and everyone else will clear the next round. And this time, Yuichi's plan is extremely dangerous because he'll be telling the truth, so he will not get any penalty, but the other 4 will get penalties, allowing the 4 of them to move on to the next game while the traitor is left behind. Tenji asks Yuichi how he will know whether the traitor is telling the truth or lying. Yuichi replies that he does not know, but the people running the Tomodachi game know exactly who applied for the game, so they already know who the traitor is. Yuichi asks Manabu if he is right, and Manabu confirms that he is correct. Yuichi then says that now it is obvious that if anyone here does not approve this plan, then that person is the traitor. At this point, Tenji is completely cornered with no way to escape, so Tenji goes into the booth to put his and write a fake emotional story so that everyone will trust him and feel sympathy for him when told them, and they all say yes, while Tenji is now ready to act, thinking to himself that this is the best acting of his life. Fake tears start forming in his eyes. Then Manabu announces that 4 cards are blank and only 1 card has writing on it, and it says, "I am the one who started the Tomodachi game, and that card belongs to Tenji." Hearing this, everyone starts staring at Yukino says that if she watches the game again, she will understand everything, because Yuichi had set 3 traps in this game from the very beginning, and if she notices them, she will realize what Yuichi truly is, that he is not an ordinary person. Then Yuichi begins to explain his entire plan, and when a slip appears saying that you and Sawaragi used to date each other, at that moment both Sawaragi and I see 2 cards in his hand along with a pen, yet his own card is blank. And when Yuichi comes out, he places his hand on Sawaragi's shoulder and says that he left a blank card, and at that moment he quietly passes his instruction slip to Sawaragi. Then Tenji asks how Yuichi trusted her. He told her to write a secret about him that only she could know. And earlier we already saw Sawaragi asking Yuichi for a secret that no one else knew. And that secret was that Yuichi had not bathed for a week, meaning that slip was written by Sawaragi, which proves that the other bad-mouthing slip was written by the traitor. And the second card was the one Tenji himself wrote about his age. Then Yuichi explains that after the 5th round he gave Kokorogi a slip, and when should write a secret about Sawaragi that only she knows, and Kokorogi wrote a secret that only Sawaragi knew, proving again that the traitor wrote the other slip, and in this way, Kokorogi passed Yuichi's test. Yuichi says that after that, only Yu and Shiibe were left, and he kept feeding every piece of information to Sawaragi, Tenji says, but I was always with her, she was always by my side, I never gave anyone a chance to talk to her. Yuichi replies that 3 minutes before, that when someone enters the slip booth, they come out only after 3 minutes, and they remember the scene when Tenji came out of the booth and Yuichi slapped Sawaragi, and in reality while slapping her, Yuichi passed his slip to her. Tsukino says this was Yuichi's second trap. Yuichi was controlling the order of who entered the booth, final suspect. Tenji asks if that means the fight between Kokorogi and Sawaragi was completely fake. Yuichi replies yes, he already knew that plan had doing what he had. Tsukino adds that in the 4th round, Yuichi gave his tag to Sawaragi when Tenji and Shiibe were fighting, and after she cut it, he took it back and wrote a note telling her to give her tag to him. He did. An abnormal mind could catch such a weakness, someone who understands human weaknesses, power, and money. Tenji finally asks why Yuichi chose him in the end, and whether he had always suspected him. Yuichi replies that it was not like that. He simply knew Tenji very well, and his doubt started when Tenji stopped behaving like himself. The Mikasa Tenji he knew was intelligent, calm, and always the one who calmed fights. But at the very start of the game, Tenji picked a fight with Shiibe and blamed him for bad-mouthing, and Yuichi asks whether it even makes sense for Shiibe to do bad-mouthing. And when Yuichi told his secret to Sawaragi, he specifically told her not to tell Shiibe, and Kokorogi also did not want to tell Shiibe her secret, yet in the 4th round, bad-mouthing appeared about Shiibe saying he slept with his mother in junior high, which he wrote himself to protect Sawaragi, and when Kokorogi's secret came out, Shiibe tried to calm her in his own awkward way, and because he is an idiot, his words sounded strange, and Yuichi knew Shiibe could not keep his mouth shut, so he told him last. Tenji realizes that he tried to blame someone who was too stupid to pull off such a thing, and that mistake put him under suspicion. Manabu says the game is not over yet, the traitor has been found, but Sawaragi. Then we see Yuichi whisper something into Manabu's ear. Manabu announces that the game is over, and Yuichi alone has reached the goal, meaning everyone has won the game. Shocking everyone, Manabu explains that Yuichi made a false badmouth in the 7th round and just confirmed that he lied, so as a penalty he moved 1 block ahead of Sawaragi and reached the goal. Sawaragi says this is not right. Yuichi replies that this was the best option, and while he plays the 3rd game, they will have plenty of time to interrogate Tenji and decide what to do without him, because he has no right to judge Tenji. Shiibe asks what that means. Yuichi reminds them of what he whispered into Kokorogi's ear when she was crying, saying that what she did was nothing compared to his past. Yuichi admits that he has done new. He wrote that Shiibe killed someone, but in reality he himself is a killer. Tsukino confirms that they searched and Yuichi killed 3 people and is a monster. Manabu says says completing the third game alone is impossible, and Yuichi may feel like a hero now, but he will regret it. Yuichi replies that they will see who regrets it, and explains that his friends were the only thing keeping his life clean. But in the next game he will have no friends, and can finally show his true self and destroy both them and the management alone. Manabu asks if Yuichi is threatening him, and announces to everyone that Yuichi killed everything was normal. Tenji says sometimes situations force people to do things they do not want to do. Shibe replies that if Tenji understands that, then there must be a reason behind Yuichi's actions, and Tenji mocks him, saying an idiot like him would not understand, thanking his father for hiding crimes, which sparks an argument between Shibe and Tenji. Koichi says someone once told him that friends are more important than money, but he still does not understand that. He believed it because he loved them, but now he is done. Friendships are painful, so being alone is better. Manabu says he is going alone to the third. Yuichi always liked Yuichi and kisses him to prove it, and both of them fall into the third game together. Then Tsukino tells Maria that Mikasa Tenji has entered the Tomodachi game for the second time, meaning he definitely had a plan. So for Tenji, this was not his first Tomodachi game, and with that, the second game ends. So if you enjoy this series and want next episodes, just leave the comment for part 3 and like the video.